Hello and welcome to the Knitting Traditions Podcast. My name is Inga and this is my little corner on the internet where I talk about my knitting. If you're returning, welcome back. Sorry it's been a little while, and if you're new here, I hope you do enjoy this content. I'm a knitter. I like to knit all the time. I love the woolly wools, the earthy tones, and yeah, it makes me happy. So I hope it makes you happy too. Today I am wearing a summer version of the ranunculus to celebrate summer with the rest of you in the northern hemisphere. I live on the west coast of Norway, and for the month of June, because we're getting close to the end of June now, I think there's been one day where it did not rain, and that day is not today. So I'm wearing a linen jacket on top of my summery knit because I am cold. And hopefully July will be better, though I am doubtful. But I am at least wearing a summer knit in spirit. This is a top-down construction with some lace on the yoke. A lot of people have knit the ranunculus. It's a pattern that can be knit with many different weights of yarns to give a different expression, which I love. I knit a T version. It hits just about here. I have a microphone on to hopefully give everyone a good sound because there's been some issues, but that's why I don't want to take the jacket off in case it'll create noise. But I have a T version, and the yarn that I used is the fibra natura papyrus yarn. That is a cotton and silk blend. If you've not tried this base before, but you would like a nice DK summer yarn to knit with, I do recommend this yarn. It pills a little bit when you knit with it, but it really does hold up very nicely. I find a lot of summer yarns with the cotton content can get quite stiff once you've washed it, but this one stays nice and soft and wears really well. So one of my favorites. And this is like a cream colorway. It doesn't have a huge colorway range, but I really like this one. And I've knit other things in it and things for Nellie as well. My mom has made several dresses for her that she has freestyled. Maybe I can show them someday. They're very cute. That Nellie wears all the time now. Other than that, I do not have any finished objects today. I have a sweater that my mother-in-law, or Matthias's mom, knit for Nellie from my stash, but I don't have it here and I didn't knit it. But she knitted the storm sweater for Nellie in a lovely lilac color that's going to fit when she's around 4 or 5 years old. So we're knitting ahead here, planning. I personally have been in a very rare, for me, knitting funk. Usually, I would say that knitting is a very big part of who I am. I will bring my knitting everywhere. I have a whip for every situation. Any moment free, I will take up my knitting and I want to knit all the time. But for, I don't know, the last month or so, I haven't really been wanting to knit, and there is a reason for that. We are expecting our second child, and we haven't had an ultrasound yet, but I work in obstetrics and gynecology, so I've checked myself and I think I'm around soon 11 weeks. So that is a good explanation for why I have been not feeling like doing anything. I'm tired, I'm nauseous, I'm dizzy, and the thought of knitting is making me nauseous, which is very, very sad because it is what brings me joy usually and like calms my nerves, and it's like my own kind of meditation. So I really do hope that passes soon so that I can get back to working on all the yarns that I have that are just like looking at me, asking for me to like work on it. So For anyone out there who's also experiencing or have experienced a knitting funk, I feel for you, and if you're in it now, I hope we can get through it together. So I wanted to ask all of you out there, when you find that you need something to help you get your motivation back, what is it? What works for you? Is there a specific pattern? I would love for you to comment that below, and if I find the energy, I will try and make a video with all those things put together that I think also would help other people. Maybe I can have a video for how to get back to your knitting mojo. I think that would be a really nice idea. I wish I had that right now. I've been watching a lovely podcast today that helped me get the motivation to record. And let me just make sure I say her podcast handle today, because I'm a new subscriber to her channel. And I just had a really lovely time watching her. It's Alicia from Lovely Day Knits. She's from Australia, so she's currently in like the winter half of the year, and that is helpful. For me, I find winter knitting a lot more inspirational than summer knitting, living in a cold country where we have a lot more winter, fall months than summer months, really. It's like fall right now. So do check her out if you want to see a lovely podcaster. She's currently testing my freyr sweater, so that's how I found her channel. And she's just lovely. So she helped me find my podcasting mojo today. So now I just need to find my knitting mojo. And I do think I need to cast something new on. Something that I'm really excited about. I have some yarn that I've been wanting to knit with. Some Newton yarn or Hilleswag unspun. It's summer, so I felt like it would be strange to cast on an unspun garment in like a woolly wool, but maybe I just need to listen to what I want to knit on right now and let my whips rest. Because I have a lot of whips that I want, but I want them more as finished objects right now because I'm lacking the mojo to actually sit down and knit. And mostly I'm just lying flat these days. But I put on a face today, and I'm here. I am podcasting. I'm reaching out to you because I think that also will help, seeing the interaction with you and your comments, and that is always helpful. So here I am, and I wanted to talk about my whips. I have one whip that I, as a bad podcaster, don't have ready because it's in the car, but I knit quite a bit on my blanket. I have 2 panels to go, one on each side, and that is in the car. So that's why it's not here, but this is the blanket that I'm working on. The centerpieces that I have here are the most intricate ones. This is a knitted afghan, and the pattern is from a American afghan book. I'll grab it. I also need to clean my yarn room. I think that would also help with my modifications, my mojo, to organize my life a little bit, but currently cannot bend down too much without getting nauseous. So this is the book where I have the Afghan pattern from. I saw this on Brooke Willow's podcast channel. She was knitting the same blanket and I thought it was gorgeous and I wanted one. So I bought this on eBay. The pattern is, let's see if I can find it in the book. The Fisherman on page 36. And it's panels with different cables and texture. And then there's going to be some big tassels in the end. I'm using a aran weight cone from woolyknit, and it is going to be so nice and warm. It is a proper woolly yarn. So it's not like a soft merino. If you're sensitive, you might find it itchy, but I don't wear thick wool blankets on the couch next to skin, because usually if I'm wearing a blanket, it is because I'm cold and I'll be also wearing clothes, so I don't think it's an issue. And I'm also not very sensitive. And for warmth, the woolly wools are hands down the best source of warmth. There are certain animal fibers which are warmer. Mohair, alpaca, cashmere are all warmer fibers than sheep's wool, but also more expensive and less to choose from. So for a good, affordable, very warm wool, it's a very good option. And it comes in beautiful colorways. So that is a whip that I will show you. I hope to get more progress on it during the summer, but it's a long time whip and it's in no rush. The one that has gotten the most of my knitting focus, if you will, those few moments where I felt like I can knit without feeling too sick, is this one. It's living in my beautiful Knitting Swan bag. I'm an affiliate member with Thou from the Knitting Swan. If you use the code Inga and my link below, I get a little bit of commission. She creates beautiful bags, and this is her poppy print, and I have this whip in here because the color matches, and that's just one of those little details which brings me joy. And I am knitting a sample of the freyr sweater along with my test knitters. It's currently in testing. I hope that everyone's going to finish it by the end of July, but there are 10 sizes, and I know that it's a lot of knitting for the biggest sizes, up to 175 centimeters bust. So if we need longer, it'll be released at the end of August, but I will keep you posted. I have previously knitted a summer version, spring version, and fall version of this sweater. So now I'm making a winter version. And I ended up going for this yarn combo right here. This is something I had in my stash. I want this pattern to be a pattern that can use a large range of different yarns, both lace held double, fingering single for a summer version with a looser gauge, sport, DK, sport plus mohair. You know, the world is your oyster, is that a saying? As long as you get a 21 stitch gauge. And it has 3 different necklines, 2 different body shapes, 2 different sleeve cuffs, and so far people seem happy in the test knit group, so I'm hoping the fit for all the sizes which were professionally graded is going to be good as well. My winter version is quite a dense gauge compared to my others. It's a sport weight rauma finull, one of my favorite workhouse yarns. It's affordable, beautiful, extremely big color range, and just a really nice yarn to work with, and it holds up well. It is a rustic wool, so it's not a soft wool, and I'm holding it with a silk mohair, which had a color that I felt matched it really well. It's slightly more orangey, which I like. I think I suit this kind of red better. And I am knitting this up on 4.5 millimeters to get gauge, 21 stitch gauge. I find that I saw with my swatch, first I had 4 millimeters and I got gauge, but then once I washed it, it actually shrunk up a little bit. I think the mohair with the rustic wool kind of created a little Velcro effect. So I went up half a needle size and I should hit gauge once I wash it. Yeah, I'm knitting the size 4 because I want it to be big. So my other samples range from almost 0 ease to 16 centimeters of positive ease. So for the winter, I wanted the more 16 centimeters, same as the fall version. And then my spring and summer versions are closer to 0 to 7 centimeters of positive ease. And for this one, I opted for the turtleneck. So I have not tucked it down, so I can actually wear it up on my face in the winter. What I usually do with my turtlenecks, though, is that I do tend to tuck them down if I want them to lay nice. Because I find often when you knit a turtleneck in ribbing and you wear it, sometimes it'll look a little bit like this, and I don't like that. So if I know that this is a turtleneck that I want to wear down and I'm not going to wear it skiing and over my face, I will usually go in with the yarn and a darning needle and just go up and down on the inside, catching a purl bump together with the bottom of the ribbing of the neckline every few stitches, so that it's not tight, but it will hold the neckline in place so it doesn't ride up. So I think I will just finish it, wear it a few times, and see what I want this to be. If I want to be able to move it, or if I want it to stay like this. I could, of course, also just flip it on the inside, and that way there will be the thick turtleneck without having that issue at all. So that is also a viable option. And where I am at is that I have finished the raglan. There is a cable running down. I find that even though I'm holding a silk mohair with the sport weight, I can still see the cables quite well. Not as popping out as if I were to have used a rounded yarn. For cables, if you really want them to pop out and be very like nice and visible, using a rounded yarn with many plies is usually a better option. Like a nice round merino. But I'm happy with it, and I've split for sleeves. I have knit the cables that run down the underarm, and I have started the cables around the hem. I recommend to do the neckline, which is picked up later and knit, before you try it on after the sleeve separation, because the neckline seems very big before you pick up stitches and knit the ribbing. So if you were to try it on without doing the neckline, it'll probably fit you lower on your body, and your estimation for when to start the cabled hem will be off. So that's why I recommend do the neckline first, so it cinches up and fits you the way it's going to, and then figure out how long you want to knit before you start the cables. So I have started the cables. I am knitting in the round. I have some very cute stitch stoppers on here, some oranges. Again, trying to do all those little things that bring me a little bit of joy, to find the joy in knitting during these weeks. And I am, for the top part of the sweater, I used my the needles, wooden needles. I think they are the ginger wooden needles from Knit Pro, and then, or Knitter's Pride, depends if you're in Europe or the US what they're called. But then for the cabled hem, which are cabled all the way around, I have a way of knitting them without cable needles. There will be a tutorial in the pattern, and it's just a lot faster to do it with very sharp and pointy needles. So I switched to my Haya sharps for the cabled hem, and it's knitting up quite nicely. I find that my gauge is tighter on wooden needles than it is on steel needles, but that is working out really well, because usually when you knit cables, the gauge for cables is usually, it's not for everyone, but usually tighter than your stockinette gauge. So by going up over to steel needles, hopefully that's going to even out that slightly difference in engage, so it's getting that nice boxy shape that I'm going for in this version. So that's what's been most of my little knitting time these days. But we also did travel to a wedding to some friends, and I brought some sock knitting with me. Now this is an old whip, and I don't know, I finished a sock months ago and I cast on for the second sock, so that's what I was knitting on the plane. Now this is a sock tube modification. It's knit top down. I first knit the cuff, then I knit the self-striping yarn, and then I will knit the toe, and then I will cut in and place the heel later on. And the yarn that I'm using for this is a kit from Stripy Cat Yarns. This is one of her Harry Potter colorways. I bought 3 skeins from her, and I'm wondering if this might have been book 3, but don't hold me to that. But it's one of the Harry Potter ways. It's got yellow, orange, purples, and then muted like gray, gold, and purple in between. I'm loving how it is knitting up, and it was a nice mindless knit to have on the plane. I'm using 30 centimeter circulars, which are 12 inch or almost 12 inch. I can't knit with 9-inch circulars. They're too small and it hurts my hands, even though I've tried to get used to them. I knit continental. I don't know if that is something that makes it more hard on my hands, but the 12-inch 30 centimeter circulars work really well for socks and sleeves, and it's my go-to for small circumferences. The only time I can't use them, if it's like a baby knit or something, then I'll do magic loop. Never DPNs. I can't go back to it. It's for me, I always get a little bit of a gap, even though I've tried different techniques to avoid it, and the needles fall out, and I find it too fiddly. So I'm definitely a circular girly, and if I have to, I'll do magic loop. Another one that I brought with me on the trip, I didn't knit a lot on it. I don't even know if I've knit anything on it. I honestly can't remember where I was when I last podcasted, but it's my rustic cable socks, where I finished one, and I know I had finished this last time. It's a top-down sock with 3 cables on the front, and the kind of heel that my grandmother taught me. I'm not going to go too much into it. You can see the last episode and seeing how far I am at. I don't think I had knit any further since the last time, so I'm not going to talk more about it. I will show you once I get around to it. But the beautiful colorway is from La Bien-Aimée. It's the cashmerino. It's a lovely yarn. I have not finished them yet, so I don't know how it's going to hold up on my feet, but time will tell. Another whip in my basket. I have like this big basket next to my couch where I have all my like current whips that I'm working on, some more than others. I don't know if I've made any progress on this since last time. This is the Sophie shawl by Petite Knit. I am knitting it up in Lang Cashmere Dreams held double on 4 millimeters or US 6. I've done a modification to the pattern. I'm doing the increases more rapidly because I want it to be wider, but this is the widest point, so it's not super wide, but I think it's going to be a nice, soft, warm piece to wear in the winter. But again, we are technically in summer now, so this dark, moody winter shawl is not what is motivating for me right now. So maybe I will take it out of my current whip basket and set it aside for winter. I have this Sophie hood as well, which I have also put aside for the same reason. So yeah, it's living in this beautiful hand-sewn bag from the Athenian maker. But maybe I'll put it aside with some other lingering whips that I have in here on my chair. I have a cardigan, some other blanket whips and scarf whips. So maybe I should place those here, get them back out in the fall, winter, and then cast something new on right now that is appealing to my summery vibes. And that's probably not going to be a summer knit, but maybe, I don't know, some color, some texture, something. Give me ideas, please. I think I've made some progress in this. This is another bag from the Knitting Swan. This is her new weekend bag that opens up like a bucket. And in here, I have a baby blanket. The only baby, why am I doing this today? The only baby knit that I'm currently working on. And I am still plugging away at the lace border, which is something that is taking forever. It is a knitted border that is knit along live stitches of this circular lace motif. It is hard to see until it is blocked, because it will really block out quite nicely in the end. So I can't wait to show you that. But I think there's almost 300 stitches, live stitches, that need to be knit up and down, so twice the length of this border in lace in order to be completed. So it is a time-consuming lace border, but it is easy enough to memorize. I will probably have to look at it now that I've put it down for 2 weeks or so. I'll probably have to look at the pattern just to memorize again quickly where to do the yarn overs and yeah, the knit togethers and those kind of things, just to make sure I don't make an error. But it's all just a matter of me finding my mojo back to complete this. I definitely want to have this done by January and baby number 2, but yeah, just need to find my mojo. The yarn is lovely. It is beautiful. It is the Lore yarn. Let's see if I can find the label. Lore by the Fibre Company. And it's 100% Kent lamb's wool, sourced and produced in England. And this is the color Comfort. And really, it is a very lovely heathered brown that to me speaks of comfort, the earthy tones, lighting a scented candle, having some warm brown tea on the couch in fall as it's raining outside, looking a lot like today, but supposed to be that way, and knitting on this. So we'll see. I feel like out of all my whips, it is this and the Freyr sweater that is keeping me most interested, but I need something else on the needles, something to really kickstart my want to knit. But yes, this should probably, I could finish this quite quickly if I just sat down and wanted to knit on it and not like mindlessly scroll on my phone, playing silly games. So yeah, this will stay in my project bag. I need to clean up my project bag as well. I see there's a changing pad for diapers and stuff in there. So it's a messy life I'm living right now. So maybe I will wait and see what your tips are for getting the mojo back, specifically if there's any patterns, because if I were to make a video to give people inspiration, I think that would be the most like tangible thing to show, and see if I can find something that I can cast on now. I have one acquisition to show you, the lovely Lucy from So Pretty, So Mindful. She sent me this beautiful bag that she's sewn up, and this is a huge project bag and would be perfect for a sweater whip or two even. This is her, what's the name? I think she has like sewing tutorials for this bag. It's called the Warwick, and it has very nifty solutions. So this is my favorite side of the bag. I think this is what you call a quilted fabric. I'm not a sewer myself, but to me this looks like what people talk about as quilting. So there's a big pocket here. You can open up on the side to make even more space in the bag. And then on the other side, you have a pocket, a beautiful rainbow zipper, and another pocket here. And then inside, a huge amount of space. So this would be a perfect whip bag for an unspun sweater project for me this winter. So maybe that's what needs to live in here. I have this particular yarn that I think would look really nice in this, matching the green. And this is one of the yarns that I have been wanting to knit with. This is a Hillesvåg unspun roving. It looks a lot like the Nutiden one that I knit the Guernsey Genser for myself in. And I've been wanting to knit something for Nelly, maybe baby number 2. We shall see. But it's a color that brings me a lot of joy. I do love my greens and browns, and the lighter ones specifically in the spring and summer months. So I will link Lucy's channel and page below. She's also testing the freyr sweater for me, and poor thing cut her finger and yet she's still managing to knit. So that's the kind of motivation that I need to get back. If you have been a long time viewer, you know that I broke both of my elbows at some point and I was still knitting. I, to this day, firmly believe that it was a great physiotherapy for my elbows, because I now have full range of motion even after surgery, and I think knitting helped. So, but don't take my word on that. That was my personal experience. Okay. I think that is all. So while I edit this video and upload it and wait for your tips and advices, I will be working on this tonight. This is a current whip. This is a bag from Babylon Leather. They sell kits so you can sew your own bags. You get all the leather pieces, needles, thread and everything. And then the leather has pre-cut holes and a video tutorial. And I think this is what I'm going to enjoy tonight. Just stitching away, creating myself a beautiful bag in this beautiful leather. And then check in to see if you can help me with my mojo. I am so grateful for all of you who are on here, and I hope that you're well. I hope that you're making all the things that make you happy and that you are safe in this world. There is so much going on right now. It is scary. And I think it's good for us to have a little piece of happiness within our like own little bubble that can keep us sane and calm. And for me, that is knitting. And I just hope that you are safe and that you're able to find little pieces and little moments of calm in your day. And hopefully things will work out in the end for everyone. And yeah, I hope to see you soon. Bye.